I just had a really hot date with Teresa, but that's not what this video is about. Hi, Teresa. Oh, I've had this save file for 3 years now, and I can prove it by showing you that I streamed it 3 years ago. However, you'll also notice that I have not played for 3 years. Now, this is a game that, by all definitions, I should love. By all gaming history of mine, I should know that this is a game that should be obvious for me to really enjoy. However, it actually wasn't. I actually didn't like it the first time I played it. I've actually started the game several times just to put it down again and never return, and then months later come back and start a new save file. It was a really slow burn, I think is the only way to describe it. However, I recently booted it up again, decided I'm not going to restart, I'm just going to continue from my 3-year-old file, because I do remember what happened and I had the bonus of streaming it, so I went back and I watched just to catch myself up on what I actually did. I think one of the main reasons why I never continued playing, I initially really didn't like the fact that you couldn't just save whenever you wanted, and I never gave it a chance just to see how the autosaving worked, essentially. If you don't know, you can't just boot up here and say save. You can, but it'll cost you save your snaps, you see at the bottom there. And I didn't like that concept, where I couldn't just play how I wanted and just save. And I don't know why that really deterred me from playing. Having played more now, and realizing that that's not really a big problem. Another thing was the combat is really difficult and unforgiving. I'm used to games like The Witcher. I love The Witcher, and that's essentially a hack and slash. You can dodge, you just hack and slash and run and dodge and everything. So I found the combat on that somewhat easy. We did started a deathmatch run as well, and that's challenging, but nowhere near like this. I think it's the first person view as well that makes it a bit tough. However, those things all make sense now, and I think that after what I've played about 16 hours now through this campaign, I finally get it. And it's been embarrassing to say, because I think a lot of people just swear by this game being like the best game they've ever played, and it took me this long, almost 3 years, to actually realize that maybe they're right. When you're exploring and you come across 3 bandits, in most games that's not a problem. You just hack and slash your way through that, and it's totally fine. This game, there's no chance, especially this early in the game. You're not good at it. Henry's not good at it especially, and that totally makes sense. He's just a blacksmith's son. Why should he be dominating bandits that do this for a living, essentially? You know? And it just gives you that appreciation that, okay, I don't belong here. I don't belong in this fight. So maybe I should not take on this fight. Whereas in most games, you just want to know what they're protecting or hiding. But especially at this part of the game, early stages, you don't deserve to know what they're hiding, what they're keeping, or what loot's there. You don't deserve it. You've got to earn that. You've got to train. You've got to get better gear. You've got to, yourself and Henry need to get better at the game. And I can't think of many other games, if any, that live by this sort of principle as well. You suck at the game, Henry sucks at the game, you don't deserve to win a 3-on-1 fight. Simple as that. Now I'm going to use the last part of this video just to talk a little bit about, if you're like me and you were hesitant to get into the game, don't. It's really not as bad as they say. Yeah, combat's unforgiving, but there's multiple ways to get around a mission. If you're not confident with the fighting, don't, maybe train a bit more. There's areas where you can train, do some crafting, do some brewing, learn to read. I haven't done that yet, but I know that you can learn to read and then craft the savior schnapps yourself if you wish to. So I was really hesitant about the saving thing, that, oh, what if, I don't want to redo a whole mission. But I had those worries before I even tried doing the missions, and that was, a mistake on my part. And then I was also, because you can't just say whenever you want to, right? So, but you have to sleep in a bed, then I would just go to a random bed and try and sleep there. But that doesn't work because that bed belongs to someone, and then they come home and find you there and wake you up and will call the guard or something. So you have designated areas where you can sleep. There's sometimes you can find a bed in a barn, sleep there. So it's almost like hyper realistic in that sense. The combat I haven't found too much of an issue with at the moment. If there's an area where there's just too many people that I need to fight, I just don't do it. You know, that's the beauty. You don't have to do it that way if you don't want to. I thought maybe I could drink this water. If you're not confident with that fight, don't do it. See if there's another way to get around the situation. I think eventually I will get better at the fighting and things like that, but right now I've been progressing through the campaign and it hasn't really actually been an issue where I can't get through a mission or anything like that. Now, as a person that really loves The Witcher 3, I've completed the game, I've completed the DLCs, all that stuff. I really love that game and the exploration in that game as well. You need to try this. That's very different. There's not fantasy, there's not magic, there's not monsters or anything. It's a real town, it's a real community that has issues. You know, there's bandits, there's bad guys. Without spoiling anything, you know, you stick to the path, you can travel, you might get interrupted. If you do, you're exploring, you can find bandits like in the woods and stuff, but that might not necessarily be a problem. You might just back away slowly pretend that you never saw them. But I really want to encourage you guys that have tried Kingdom Come, gotten a few hours in, maybe just gone through the prologue and then gave up because you were like me and you just had these expectations of ways that games should be played and should be handled. This is not that, and I think that can be somewhat intimidating for people. They don't want to put all this time and efforts into something and then, you know, die and then you revert back like 3 hours. It's not actually like that. It doesn't actually work like that, and I think that's one of the big misconceptions people have with this game. I hope this video gives some encouragement to some new players that want to try it out. I want to finish this game and then I want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 as well. That is on my to-do list, but I told myself I will do that if I finish this game, and I will be doing that. I will be live streaming this as well. If you guys want to subscribe and then check out my page, I always have my next stream scheduled so that everyone can stay up to date. I really hope you got some value out of this video, and I hope to see you in some live streams. See you very soon.